I did a song about smoking crack. I did a song about smoking crack. It was called The Dust Man. And everybody liked the beat more than they liked, the words. Which was crazy because I'm so deep. Like, the words were, like, amazing. Anyway, I took it offline. And I've got it archived now. I'm going to re-release it at a different date. Everybody felt like, oh, man, you should let me spit something to that or whatever. So I created a new version of the beat. The beat was initially called Junk. And I used the Junk beat to make my song, which was called The Dust Man. But now, since everybody liked the beat so much, I decided to go ahead and release it on the digital mixtape so other artists can use it. But it's a specific version of the song that I've made for y'all. So it's called Junk, and it's the OD mix, which is very different from my version. And it's not to be like superficial or anything, but my version was so odd as far as the instrumentation. As much as people thought that they could do something over to it, when I let them hear the beat by itself, they really couldn't. Like, it just threw them off because it was kind of tailor-made to my style. So, but what I did was I looped the sound over and over, which is what people were really in love with, and made a version of it for them. I'm going to give you a behind-the-scenes exclusive today about the creation of Junk and why I made the song and the symbolism behind it and whatnot. I think for a lot of people, when they hear a music beat, it's just a sound to them, and they just create something to it. But for me, the music beat is just like the words to a song, too. Like, the beat has its own life to it. And that's how Junk, I feel like, maintained its popularity among my little social group. So there was a song that I did years ago that was called, what was the name? I don't even remember the name of the song, but I used the Canceled beat to the song. The beat was called Canceled. And Canceled was about suicide. So I took Canceled and I put that sound in reverse. And that is the meat and potatoes behind Junk. So here's what it sounds like. Right? That shit is crazy. So this is kind of like what everybody fell in love with, was the beat Canceled put in reverse. So, it's like a suicide song, and because I did a song about, smoking crack, it was almost like being dead but still living. Like, dying and coming back to life, so to speak. And, of course, you add a drum line to it, and then boom. Shit is crazy. So, people expected it to just go like this the whole time. Like they could spit on it. But they didn't see the changes that were coming in the song. And the changes were tailor-made to what I was trying to deliver in the message of the song I created. Alright, so this is kind of like the bridge to the song, after that crack hits you and you get that first high. There's also like a little part in within the reversing, you'll hear like a ringing, like it's like a annoying ring, but I had to put the sound on low so it didn't like take away from the beat. But I only put it in the right ear. I panned it out to where you can only hear it in the right ear. And that's symbolism to, the first feeling you get when you actually do smoke crack, the ringing in the ears. Don't ask me how I know. Now, that's a whole nother story. And this represents the, I got a short circuit in my wire. This part represents the celebration of the first time that you actually, smoke this dust. Now, mind you, the song was called Dust. You can do, when y'all hear this beat, you can do whatever you want to the beat. But this is just how the beat was made from this song. Okay? So then it kind of goes back, like, you know, and it's very Wu-Tang, RZA style, where it just flips back to, you know, it reverts back to the original loop. I'm not too big on, like, you know, bars and stuff. Like, everybody, they're like, oh, it's got to be 16 bars, and in a verse, it's got to be do this. I go by measures, you know. So if I feel like it's the right time to come back on, I bring it back in. Now, you know, on this part, you're listening to the same sound you did the first time, but it's a little bit darker. And that's because I put the beat in a lower octave. And so this represents the same sound of Celebration in reverse, but almost like the dark angels are watching you now, you know? And so the sound comes in a bit lower, and it's a little less celebratory. And then here's this long so if you notice, there was a little there was a long but kind of short pause where before the beat came back in, it was like the sound of a dark angel. I put a little organs in there because I purposely wanted it to sound like that was at the point that you were dying. But even after you die from smoking that crack, bitches, oh, you get right back to it. Because you always chasing the high. And that's part of the whole purpose of the reverse and the loop. And so again, this is going to go like, you know, a few short measures. Spit something real quick. And then I think it's 4 bars. I think 4 bars. 2 measures. Whatever. Music talk. I don't read music. I just do it. You know what I'm saying? So then it goes back to it, to where your hook is, and now you can hear the chapters of this crackhead's life just going before his eyes. And the octave goes one key lower. So now it's an even darker sound in the back. And the reverse is slower, so all you're hearing is the and then you're gonna get that same slow sound from the Dark Angels minus the organs. And then of course, like anything else in the celebration of life, it starts all over, you know? And the underlining emotion that you get from the song is that the junkie is always chasing that high. So no matter how much your life is going in reverse, they're always still going to repeat the reverse. And always chasing that one grand moment from the very beginning, which is this one right here at the beginning of the song, the drum line. And that's just a representation of the beat of a heart. And so in this song, I decided not to fade it out either. So if you put it on repeat, you're not going to know whether the song is at the beginning or end until you hear the first high again. So it's repeated again. And so that's that's kind of the understanding behind the song Junk. No words. And one day when I feel compelled again, I will go ahead and release the actual song that I did, that was called The Dust Man, which is like, you know, my little verse to it. In the meantime, you guys can have the beat, do what you made to it. I do not encourage the usage of crack. cocaine, or any other drugs that you may find useful to create music. I am definitely on that Sober Minds movement. Hashtag hecticbars.com. And that's it. You can get more information. Just Google the Digital Mixtape Collection. You can get on any of these beats that I do. It will cost you nothing. All you have to do is record your verse to it and email it back to me. If it's dope enough, I put it on the Digital Mixtape Collection, promote it for you, and if it makes money, you're gonna get a check. As simple as that. There's no gimmicks behind it or nothing like that. TheRealAdonis.com, Polystylez.com, and bitches, I run your life. Go cop that song, Jump.